Rectangles. You're surrounded by them every day, and you probably don't even realize it. You see them when you're driving to school or work, even when you're watching TV in the living room, or when you're reading a book. And you see them constantly in your doodles from math class. So what exactly is the definition of a rectangle? To begin, a quadrilateral, as you may know, is a shape that has 4 corners and 4 sides. Since a rectangle has both of these characteristics, it can be called a quadrilateral. They have 4 right angles, and each angle is equal to 90 degrees. And they have a total sum of 360 degrees. Rectangles have 2 sets of parallel sides that are equal to each other. Because these opposite sides are parallel, it can also be called a parallelogram. This, however, is a special case. Even though the angles are 90 degrees, it still contains all the criteria necessary to be classified as a parallelogram. Speaking of special cases, squares are just rectangles in disguise. Would you believe me if I told you they were the same? You're probably thinking, you're crazy. These shapes have an obvious difference. How could you say that they're the same? Well, let me explain. Let's go back to the definition of a rectangle. It has these features. But wait, doesn't it sound like we're describing a square? We can compare these shapes side by side to prove that they're really the same. A rectangle, otherwise a quadrilateral, has 4 corners and 4 sides. Isn't that true for a square? Another trait of a rectangle is its 4 90-degree angles. And for a square, this is also true. Lastly, rectangles and squares can also be classified as parallelograms because of their 2 sets of parallel sides. The only unique property of a square that differs from a rectangle is its 4 congruent sides. Because of this, squares are special rectangles. So the next time you're doodling in Mr. Beale's math class, I hope you don't see a rectangle as just another shape, but rather see it for its uniqueness in itself. But can something so simple really be that complex?